Guard, 5'11" junior, number 24, Carl Corbin, Argenbright. And center, 6'5" senior, number 34, Luke Womack. At this time, we would please ask you to rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention as we honor the United States of America with the playing of the national anthem.
This is the Community Braves Network and coverage of the UIL Class 4A Division I by-district round. The Community Braves facing the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. My name's Chris Mycoskie, Cooper Welch, and Garrett Dorman behind the scenes at Greenville High School tonight as the Braves and Wildcats do battle. Let's take a look at the UIL Class 4A Region 2 bracket on the Division I side and see what's coming up on the upper half here as the Community Sulphur Springs winner will face either Athens or Pine Tree in the next round. The area round set for this weekend. First time that Class 4A has been divided between Region 1 and Region 2, so a slightly shorter path to a state championship in San Antonio now. Sulphur Springs with the white jerseys today as the designated home team. Braves, the visitors, in blue. These teams have met once before this season. We'll go over that result and the individual performances after the first time out. Jackson Garcia, top of the key, stepped up in a major way for Community over the past couple of weeks. Ball in his hands, the lone senior on this team does not want his basketball career to end here tonight. Drake Chapman, on the other hand, and Chase Williams have a lot of time, just freshmen. Inside of Terrius Wilson, no good. Rebound by DeCameron Bland. Off the mark by Williams, and we remain scoreless more than almost 2 minutes deep, rather, into this opening quarter. Ball knocked away. Driving towards the bucket, it's Carter Arrington lifting it up. No good. 0-0 Community and Sulphur Springs from the Lions Den in Greenville. Knocked out away, it'll stay with Community. They'll inbound from under their own hoop. Chapman up to the top of the key, and Williams. Knocked away by Arrington. This is something the Wildcats did very well in the regular season matchup between these teams, creating turnovers. Mac Rollison, the leading scorer for Sulphur Springs, unable to put the first points of the day on the scoreboard. Still scoreless. 6:15 to go, opening quarter. Jackson Garcia among the trees, outside to Williams. Garcia now to Wilson. Terrius Wilson, the leading scorer for Community. Braves taking their time here at the Lions Den. Wilson up, and it falls. Took a while, but it finally goes down, and the Braves lead 2-0. From the outside, this is Rollison, no good. He's averaging 15 points a game. Nathan Kirby, first-year head coach for Community, calling out to his Braves as they go down on offense. Battle of first-year head coaches. Tyler Mitchum on the other side for Sulphur in his first season with the Wildcats. Wilson scored 12 for Community in the first matchup between these teams. That's Drake Chapman off the mark. Carter Arrington driving in traffic, knocked away by Bland. Still Sulphur basketball. Community fans continue to fill in. This game moved up by 3 hours, originally an 8 o'clock start time. Due to weather and the road conditions, moved to a 5 o'clock start. And while that's better for safety, certainly a lot harder for fans to arrive here on time. So we'll see Brave supporters, as well as though for the Wildcats, roll in a little bit late perhaps. Should have a packed house by the end of the first half. Still 2-0 Braves. Wildcats tie it up as Carter Arrington hits. He had 8 for Sulphur in the first meeting between these teams in early January. Terrius Wilson loses the handle. Arrington. Wilson's shot is smacked down, but a foul on the floor. And it goes against the Wildcats. Braves basketball. Or goaltend to call, excuse me. So 4-2 in favor of Sulphur. This is why I need Oscar Chavez alongside, my color man all season long. I'm solo tonight. He would pick up on these things, but Garrett Dorman alongside running our graphics, my savior this evening. There's Bland with the 2 and 1. Braves with a chance to take the lead. Tied at 4 after DeCameron Bland hits. He has been fantastic at cleaning the glass this season. Nearly 8 rebounds per game in district play to lead Community. And he gives Community a 5-4 lead. 3:45 remaining in the opening quarter. Hitting from the right wing. That's Mac Rollison, leading scorer for Sulphur. Reigning district most valuable player. Those awards will come out once each team in the district has been eliminated from the playoffs. Both of these squads hoping that will be a long time from now. Chase Williams can't finish on the other end, nearly thrown it down, but Luke Womack is denied at the last possible moment, and he'll head to the charity stripe. Womack, senior, went for 5 points when the Wildcats met the Braves in the regular year. Off the mark. Again, we'll show you more about that first matchup after our first timeout, which may be at the quarter break from first to second. Offensive rebound after the free throw. Bland there for the block. He leads Community in that category. There's Jackson Garcia stepping up in his senior season. Braves back in front by 1. Community, the higher seed, but designated as the visiting team here tonight. Arrington no good, nearly had his own board. Instead, it's Ibarra picking it up, but Community gets it right back. Community, the #1 seed out of its district in Division I. Chapman, left hand, good off glass, and he'll head to the line for one more. Isaac Foy will check in for Community. Isaac and Drake sporting similar footwear tonight, both with the black socks and the black shoes. Shades of the Michigan Fab Five. The Braves in a lighter shade of blue, of course. 10-6 Community, walked with it. Turnover committed by Sulphur. Timeout called by Sulphur Springs. That gives us a chance to look at that previous matchup. Back on January 3rd, Sulphur Springs beat Community by 12. You see the major issue for Community in that one was turnovers. 27 of them that day, doubling up +1 what Sulphur committed. And the Wildcats took advantage. 15 points off turnovers that day. Community, as they do so well, especially with Bland, won on rebounds. And, in fact, were better shooters that night, percentage-wise. But the Wildcats come out on top. Looking to split the season series here in the postseason. Up top to Wilson, can't finish off the alley-oop. Blocked, and it'll go the way of the Wildcats. Take a look at some individual performances from that game after our next break. 10-6 Community. Arrington guarded by Garcia. Spin move into Bland, and he'll be the one called for a foul. Brings Carter Arrington to the line. Senior guard. It is a senior-heavy team for the Wildcats, the polar opposite of Community, as the Braves have just one senior. That's number 10, Jackson Garcia, standing on the left side, top of the lane right now. Watches that one fall. Braves lead is 3 points. Coming up on a minute and a half left in this opening quarter. Drake Chapman feeds Wilson. Coming from the backside, Rollison knocks it into the baseline. Chapman looking for a teammate, nearly at 5. Got it to Garcia, who had to hit it off of a cat out of bounds to maintain possession for Community. Community cheer up and going. Step team also in the house. Chapman backs it up to the Greenville logo. Garcia out to Foy, 0-0 at the top of the key. Now Wilson, ball in his hands, leading scorer for Community. Here's the freshman from 3 off the back iron. Less than a minute to go. Sulphur pushing the pace. Off the mark. A chance for Community to extend its lead before the quarter break. Garcia nearly had it ripped away by Savage, but instead it's a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Community. Chapman will inbound from between the V and the I in the Greenville block letters on the baseline. Isaac Foy driving baseline, no good. Bland had it stripped away by Perez, but Community gets it right back. Foy will head to the charity stripe. Sticking with the play, Drake Chapman creating the turnover. .23 seconds left. Isaac Foy at the line. Averaging just under 3 points per game in district. 6 teams in the district, so a total of 10 games. A double round robin schedule. Hits both. Community leads 12-7. Last chance for Sulphur. Under 20 seconds remaining now. Rollison gives it up to Arrington. And Arrington going down the middle, spins and hits. Wildcats pull within 3. A last-second heave goes off the ceiling here at the Lions' Den, and Community goes into the quarter break, leading 12-9. We'll step away for a brief moment here on the Community Braves Network. Second quarter underway at Greenville High School. Community and Sulphur Springs in the bi-district round. Class 4A Division I boys basketball playoffs. Community leads 12-9. I'm Chris Mycoskie, Community ISD Communications Coordinator. Cooper Welch on camera. Garrett Dorman running our graphics this evening. Terrius Wilson able to keep from going over the timeline. Gets it to Jackson Garcia. He's fouled as he fires from the baseline. Between free throws, Garrett, let's take a look at those individual performances in that first matchup between these teams as Garcia off the mark. Rollison was fantastic when Sulphur beat Community in the regular year. Terrius Wilson had a team leading 12 points for the Braves. Garcia hitting on the back end. 13-9 in favor of CHS. Wildcats won in the regular year. Braves looking for revenge and a chance to advance into the round of 32. That goes the way of Community. Thanks for joining us here on the Community Braves Network. Be sure to download that Community Braves Network app if you haven't already. We'll have soccer, softball, and baseball coming up over the next couple of months. Simulcast on Facebook and YouTube, as always. Getting it into Williams in the painted area, rolls out, fighting hard for the board. That's a foul on Foy, and Wildcat basketball. Bringing it up across the timeline is Rollison. Team leader in minutes played last time these teams got together. Went 30 minutes. That's Rollison off glass, and he'll have a chance for one more. Wildcats within 2. DeCameron Bland checks back in for Community. Williams will sit down. Off the mark, and Community able to maintain a 2-point lead. Inside to Chapman, walked with it. In the lane, trying to get between a couple of defenders. Fake on the three-pointer, driving down, loses the basketball. Wilson nearly lost it himself. Chapman fakes the pass. Coming from behind, Arrington with the steal. Falling to the hardwood. Stays with the Wildcats after losing footing there. Referee checking for any condensation in that area. Under 6 minutes to go, second quarter. Wilson had a deflection into the Brave bench. Wildcat basketball. Maddox Cameron will inbound. The senior, didn't see him in that early January matchup. Did not play for Sulphur when the Braves and Wildcats first met. Here's Arrington, left hand. There's Bland with a big block. He had 4 of them in the initial matchup. Leads Community with 2.5 blocks per game in district play. Firing from distance, it's Arrington. Sulphur back in front by 1 with under 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Garcia finds Chapman. Contact inside. Foul going against Sulphur. Perez checks out. And also Community making a change. Foy will sit down in favor of Williams. Trading the junior for the freshman. A mid-season addition to the varsity roster. And he shined from moment 1. Had his debut here on the network against Ranchview. Garcia with a nifty move, but can't finish. Thought he had contact. You could hear the smack from our broadcast position against his right arm. The Wildcats turn it into points on the other end. That's Mac Rollison. Sulphur leads by 4. Wilson thought about firing from 3. Instead, it's to Cameron Bland. Getting trapped in the corner. Wilson, Bland, and off him. Bland can't bring it in. Wildcats looking to extend the lead. Firing from the left wing, way off the mark, but there to clean things up, it's Maddox Cameron. 6-point advantage for Sulphur Springs. Nathan Kirby walking out toward midcourt, shouting instructions to his Braves. Here's Jackson Garcia from inside the three-point line. Off the rim and out. Rollison feeding Arrington, right back to Rollison. Good. Wildcats on a tear, and Coach Kirby needs a TO. 9-point lead for Sulphur Springs here in the by-district round. We'll step away for a moment here on the Community Braves Network. On the Community Braves Network, where the CHS boys basketball team is chasing history tonight. There has not been a playoff win for this program since 2009. That 31-point victory over Eustis. Jackson Garcia, the lone senior on this team, trying to lift Community to postseason success. 4 matchups since that playoff win for the Braves. Community coming up short each time. The most recent one in 2023 when they faced a monster of a Carter Cowboys team. Back to action in Greenville. A 22-13 lead for Sulphur Springs. Out of the Braves timeout. Terrius Wilson lifting off the front of the rim. Braves need a stop here to avoid going down by double digits. Rolls out. Community remains within 9. Drake Chapman, one of 2 talented freshmen on the floor right now. Building blocks for this community program in the future years. Here's Wilson. He has more basketball ahead of him in a community jersey as well. The junior. 2.5 minutes to go in the opening half. Cutting through traffic, finding a teammate, Cameron, but it's knocked away. Braves looking to make a push in these final minutes of the second quarter. Deflection and bringing it in is Arrington. Another turnover committed by Community. Sulphur unable to turn it into points there, but a second chance coming. Arrington to the outside. Rolling around and finally down for Corbin Argenbright. Ten-point lead for Sulphur. Garcia dribbling around the arc, now inside, feeds Williams. Williams met by Rollison and hits the deck. Chapman will inbound. 94 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Wilson closest to him. Garcia coming to his left. Now Wilson, that ball got tied up down low. Wilson forcing the shots. And on the other end, a lay-in for Gio Ibarra. 12-point advantage for the Wildcats. Chapman met some resistance. They'll stay on the floor. Fourth foul in this quarter for Sulphur. Chapman trying to get it to Bland. Couldn't find the handle. And Sulphur almost able to turn it into points. Rolls out. The deficit remains at 12 for Community as Isaac Foy checks back in and Williams sits down. Minute to go, second quarter. Imagine how much better it would feel in the locker room, only trailing by single digits these last couple of possessions here, making a great deal of difference. Chapman hitting from long distance. Single digit deficit now for Community. .30 seconds left in the second quarter. Ibarra trying to get around Chapman, instead attempting to get into the hands of James Johnson. Falls out of bounds, and Community will have another chance on the offensive end before the time expires. Chapman, jump stop, gets it right back. No foul called on Sulphur. The big man in the middle, Luke Womack, stays with the Community. Just under 4 ticks remaining, 3.6. Foy couldn't bring it in. Rushing at, now they've changed the call. They'll say a Wildcat tipped it. Chapman thought so immediately, couldn't believe the call, going in favor of Sulphur. 2.5 remaining. Chapman finding Garcia from the outside, stops and fires. The senior nearly drained it at the buzzer. The buzzer not working, apparently, because it had gone to 0 for a good second and a half before you heard the audio portion there. And Sulphur Springs will take a 27-18 lead into the halftime locker room here at the Lions Den in Greenville. We'll step aside on the Community Braves Network. You're watching the UIL Class 4A Division I by-district championship. Sulphur leads 27-18 over Community. Second half about to begin at the Lions Den in Greenville, Texas. This is the UIL Class 4A Division I by-district championship. Community and Sulphur Springs with the Wildcats leading 27-18. Let's look around the district as Sunnyvale earned the championship. They'll take on Pleasant Grove tonight in the by-district round. Community finishing second, but the #1 seed out of this district in Division I, as for the first time, the class is split in two for the playoffs. Quinlan Ford will take on Paris after finishing third, and then the Caddo Mills Foxes take on North Lamar this evening in the by-district round. 64 teams fighting for the 2 spots in San Antonio for the Class 4A Division I state championship at the Alamo Dome. Underway with Drake Chapman, the ball in his hands, the freshman to his fellow 9th grader, Chase Williams. Terrius Wilson, leading scorer for Community, wearing number 11. Jackson Garcia, the lone senior on this team. A whistle as Wilson gets called for the travel right in front of Nathan Kirby on the Community bench. Sulphur with a chance to go back up by double digits on its first offensive possession. Carter Arrington, senior guard. Gio Abera blocked by Cameron Bland. Averaging 2.5 blocks per game to lead Community. Off glass, no good. A follow, though, by Maddox Cameron. Cameron didn't play in the first matchup between these teams, which Sulphur won in early January, but has contributed here in the playoff game. 11-point lead now for Sulphur. Drake Chapman inbounding to Williams. Chapman gets it right back. Outside to Wilson. Here's Jackson Garcia, the senior, a little too strong. Rebound by Womack, but Chapman takes it away. Braves back within single digits. A 9-point deficit for Community. Arrington against Bland. Fed to Cameron. Cameron blocked by a combination of Wilson and Bland, rather. 2 Braves in on the stop on defense. Whistle goes against the Wildcats. Chapman will get it to Chase Williams, the freshman guard, averaging just under 7 points per game in district. Late addition to the varsity roster, made his debut against Carrollton Ranchview, has shined in district play as a 9th grader, hitting from the left wing. Baseline 2, good by Argenbright. Scoreboard reads 31-23 in favor of Sulphur. Williams again, this time it rolls out. Fighting on the ground for it, Topper. Eight-point lead for Sulphur Springs. Wildcats led by Tyler Mitchum. his first year as the head coach of the Wildcats. He and Coach Kirby have met in the postseason before at different schools when they were both assistants. Right on the timeline, Chapman and Bland trying to get it away, but Sulphur gets a timeout before that occurs. Community baseball with its home opener and season opener coming up as part of a Braves-hosted tournament. The schedule has been altered due to weather conditions that are expected later this week. So upper left-hand corner, you can see when the Braves will play now on Thursday. That first game will be at 1 o'clock against the Aubrey Chaparrals, and then later on in the evening, 5 o'clock start against Bonham. The full slate of community tournament games has been changed quite a bit. In fact, some of the games have been moved over to Canton High School, now a split event between the homes of the Braves and the Eagles. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Chapman and Bland up on defense right against the half-court line. The whistle comes against Drake. Eight-point lead for Sulphur. And another whistle against the Braves. Officials didn't blow the whistle very much in that opening half, but that's happening a lot more here in the early stages of the second half. That was the first thing we talked about when the headsets came off at the half break with folks around us. It's like, they're letting them play. Driving baseline, Williams. A late whistle coming against the freshman. Free throw shots coming for Sulphur. A chance to go up by 10 if they can make both here. Drains them. That's Corbin Argenbright, the junior guard. 10-point advantage now for the Cats. Terrius Wilson firing from the right wing off the back of the iron. Bland trying to bring in the rebound. Can't fully take it in. And Sulphur running. Some distance between him and the defender, but no good for Argenbright from the top of the key. Wilson off glass and down. Community within 8. Driving down the left side of the lane. Bland again, making life difficult for the Cats. But he'll have to go one-on-one here. Intentional foul call here. The refs are going to get together and discuss this, but our men in stripes trying to decide the right thing to do. Lengthy discussion at a critical point in this ball game. An 8-point spread, 3:44 remaining, and the call is against Sulphur, an intentional foul on Luke Womack. And I apologize for not knowing this off the top of my head. Would this not come with free throws?
We didn't have team possession.
Okay, so without team possession, the intentional foul does not give free throws to Community. Thank you for clearing that up. Garrett Dorman. Nathan Kirby thinks that it should. And in fact, we're going to talk about this again. If in fact they do send the line, I can no longer call Garrett Dorman a rulebook expert. Turn to him for guidance, and in fact, I guess Garrett was right. So because Community did not have possession of the ball when that intentional foul occurred, they only inbound it here. Big possession, and they walk with it. A travel called against Chapman, much to the dislike of the Community fans. The student section getting loud right now. Margin remains at 8 points. 3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Spin move and a feed into Braylon Savage. Call goes against the Wildcats, and again the Braves with a chance to cut in to this Sulphur lead. Wilson back out to Williams. Here's Drake Chapman lifting it high in the air, draws nothing, and Argenbright pulls it down. Off the foot of Arrington, and Chapman gets called for the foul. He slams the basketball into the hardwood. Have to watch out for that. Certainly could have been called for a technical there. Thankfully, referee opting not to do so. But reasonably frustrated as this third quarter has seen more whistles than the first two quarters combined by far. Sulphur inbounding from in front of the Wildcat bench. James Johnson travels. Sophomore guard gets whistled for the walk. Game plan going into tonight, attack the zone, go, go, go. Don't just sit back and wait for things to happen. That's what Coach Kirby wanted to see tonight. See if they attack the rim more over these final 11 minutes. Community projected to finish last in the district in the TABC preseason poll, finishing in runner-up spot in the regular season standings. And now looking for a berth into the area round of the Class 4A D1 playoffs. Lifting from long distance, no good by Argenbright. Community pushing the pace up top to Wilson. It falls. Williams to Wilson for two. 33-27 the score. Wilson getting in the passing lane, but a whistle comes on him here. That would have led to a fast break for Community. Instead, it sends Sulphur to the free throw line. The looks of dismay on these Braves players' faces on some of these whistles. It's understandable. .216 remaining in the third. No good. 7 points is the margin. Williams back out to Jackson Garcia, the lone senior on this Community roster. To the freshman Williams. Chapman, the other freshman on the floor. Met resistance on the way up and he will shoot free throws. Off the mark on the first. Gets the second to fall. Six-point margin now. Sulphur barely able to get it across in time. Off the bottom of the rim. Community will go on the run. Williams to Wilson for two. Just a 4-point deficit now for the Braves. Brave student section as loud as it's been all night long, stomping their feet here in the Lions' Den. Inside and good. Working against Williams in the painted area. It's Savage. Savage scored 6, had 6 rebounds when these teams got together in early January. Arrington with the steal. Chance to make the lead 8, can't do so. On the follow, yes, Argenbright. 40 seconds left in the third. 8-point lead for the Wildcats. After gaining some momentum over the past few minutes, Braves need a bucket here to keep it up heading into the quarter break. And again, into the passing lane, it's Arrington. He has been smooth on defense tonight. Can't hit the lay-in, but Johnson there to put it back. 10 seconds left, a 10-point difference in favor of Sulphur. Williams thinking about launching the three. Instead, gives it up to Garcia. 1 second left. Garcia at the buzzer. Short. May have been tipped by the Sulphur defender. And Sulphur Springs will go into the final quarter, leading 40-30 here on the Community Braves Network.
Welcome to Greenville High School. All fans should realize that by their attendance at this game, they become participants, and the schools are ultimately responsible for all participants. More music is coming up here on Game Time.
As your local Ford dealer in Greenville, Freedom Ford will help you find your new or used vehicle and provide excellent auto repair and maintenance. Freedom Ford on the I-35 Road in Greenville and online at freedomfordgreenville.com.
Community Braves Network coverage of the UIL Class 4A Division I boys basketball playoffs. This is a by-district championship game between Community and Sulphur Springs, fighting for the right to move on to the area round where either Athens or Pine Tree will be waiting. Take a look at the rest of that upper half of the Region 2 bracket. A lot of great teams standing in the way of either of these squads, potentially making their way to San Antonio for the state championship at the Alamo Dome. Loaded field here in 4A D1. Blocked down low by Sulphur. Wildcats lead by 10. I'm Chris Mycoskie, Community ISD Communications Coordinator. Cooper Welch, cameraman extraordinaire. Garrett Dorman running graphics tonight. Here from the Lions' Den, the home of Greenville High School. Tip-off moved up by 3 hours due to weather conditions. Wilson with the steal, and the floater Gets his own rebound and down for 2. And he'll have a chance for one more. Yeah, thanks, Cooper. Show us that student section. They have been really good tonight. Loud, up on their feet all night long. Take a look across the way. Do you see a loud, standing on their feet Wildcat student section tonight? I don't see one. But the Wildcats are winning by 8 points. Wildcat cheerleaders and drill team both in attendance this evening. CHS with the cheer and step teams in the house. Great atmosphere for high school hoops. And this is just the round of 64. It'll get so much more intense every few days for the next couple of weeks. Jackson Garcia pulling down the rebounds. 7-point deficit for Community. Jackson Garcia feeding Drake Chapman. Chapman in traffic, 3 cats around him. Wilson firing, 2 short there. Argenbright pulls down the rebound for Sulphur. 6:20 to go. Strong by Savage. Now here's Williams. Jackson Garcia. Knocked to the floor by Savage, and the senior will head to the free throw line. Garcia scoreless in the first matchup between these teams, which Sulphur won convincingly. Braves, though, were missing a couple of key players that night. Garcia received minimal minutes because he was just coming back from missing time with the team. So couldn't contribute greatly, but he has been all over the floor tonight. Big effort in what potentially could be his last basketball game as a Brave. Didn't play his sophomore year or his junior year. Wants to enjoy every opportunity here in his senior season. But if the Cats keep shooting hot over these last 5+ minutes, this would end Garcia's career on the basketball floor. 10-point difference again. Garcia, an outstanding baseball player as well. We mentioned just a moment ago that the Braves baseball team has its opening day on Thursday. Drake Chapman trying to make sure that Jackson does not head to baseball later this week. Wants some more hoops. Wants an area round matchup. From long distance, that's good by Rollison. Leading scorer for the Wildcats, heating up in the late going. Ten-point lead for Sulphur, and Community turns the ball over. Under 5 minutes left in regulation. Braves need some big stops and some big performances on the offensive end. Who will step up in crunch time? Rollison has been big. Arrington has played some tremendous defense for Sulphur tonight. And feeding Savage. Bland there. Big block, Bland. At least 5 for him tonight, really stepping up on this playoff stage, averaging 3.7 per game during district play. Drake Chapman. Over to Terrius Wilson. Back and forth. Left wing triple. Rolls out. Good look, just doesn't fall. Foul against the sideline on Terrius Wilson. The table crew here in Greenville is not putting up the individual player fouls after each one is committed like we do at home. So can't give you updates, unfortunately, in real time on the foul trouble situation. But the whistle was blown so few times in that opening half. I don't think anybody's in danger of being disqualified at this point. Chapman driving down the left side. Whistle coming against Sulphur. Chapman steps back to compose himself before stepping to the free throw line. Rollison done for the night. Leading scorer for Sulphur is out for the last 3.5 minutes. That could be a big loss. Again, I apologize for not having those foul totals in real time. We are across the way from the table crew, who is not adding that on the scoreboard this evening. That gives a chance to brag on Jeremy Binion for community. When he's running the scoreboard, the fouls are up there. The Greenville gracious host tonight, despite the fact that GISD has already announced that it'll be closed tomorrow due to weather. They're here with us this evening hosting this bi-district championship game. Ibarra kicking it outside after driving to the hole. Wildcats can take their time. Garcia has to foul, and this is one of the big reasons why people advocate for a shot clock in Texas high school basketball. There is no reason that Sulphur has to go inside with any kind of urgency. Take all the time they want. Chapman able to knock that one away, gets his hand in to the side of Arrington. And that's what it'll take for community in these final 3 minutes. Any pass that is an inch off the mark for Sulphur have to get a hand in. As the Braves trail by 9. Need as many possessions as possible. Foy setting a screen for Wilson. Chapman. Arrington all over him, finally gets around and in the lane, but can't hit. Bland able to knock it away. Chapman battling on the hardwood. Scramble for the basketball. Wildcats get possession. Timeout called by the Braves. 2 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in regulation play at the Lions Den. Wanted to spotlight a couple of key performers for community during district play. Terrius Wilson leading the Braves with nearly 14 points per game. Also a tremendous effort from him day in, day out on the glass. The only player to do better in rebounding was DeCameron Bland. 7.9 boards per game for Community. Also on D, you've seen it in full force tonight, the way he's able to get up and block shots. Did it to the tune of 2.5 per game in district. Garrett Dorman estimating that it's at least 5 this evening, doubling that total from the 10 games in the league. Community finishing runner-up in the district. Sunnyvale won the district championship this season in undefeated fashion. What a tremendous turnaround it was for Community this year. And only one senior on the floor. Nearly everybody coming back. And the consensus around campus is next year has a chance to be even better. But looking tonight to get the feel of a playoff win, they would have to mount a comeback here over the final 2 minutes. Trailing by 9. Trapped along the sideline. Chapman into Bland. Bland in the lane. Gets it to go, backing down his defender. 7 points now the difference. And Garcia commits the foul against Arrington. Community with 20 wins on the season. Second place finish in district. This after last year only winning 3 games all year long. An improvement of 17 wins. I haven't been able to do the deep dive on research. I would have to bet that that is the top turnaround in the state. A 17-win difference from one year to the next. In Nathan Kirby's first season as the CHS basketball coach. Ibarra at the line hits his first. I mentioned that Kirby and Mitchum had met in the playoffs before when they were on the staffs at Maybank and Crandall. And with Kirby on that Crandall staff, the Pirates won that matchup in 2019. This time, it looks like it might be Mitchum's team moving on to the area round. But the Braves will fight back for as long as they can. Terrius Wilson with the latest 2, and the Braves are within 7. Just 70 seconds remaining in regulation. $20 wins, 11 losses in the regular year, 7-3 in district play. An early 4-game winning streak for Community, then another one before district play began. Things were going very well for the Braves in the early going, and able to continue that into district. A runner-up finish, trailing only the Sunnyvale Raiders. Ending the regular year on a 2-game winning streak, beating Farmersville and Caddo Mills to wrap up that second place finish and earn the best win total in Community boys basketball program history in 2 decades. .67 seconds remaining. Free throws were not an issue in the first meeting between these teams. Not very many shot on either side, but they clearly will be a critical point in this one. If Sulphur can make more than they miss, they will clinch a win tonight in Greenville. Both made by Arrington. The senior looking to move on to the area round. Athens or Pine Tree will wait for the winner of this one. Those two teams playing this evening as well in by-district competition. Firing from the outside, no good there by Brody Hudson. Getting a chance to contribute late. Sophomore guard. Five fouls will end the night for Garcia and likely end his time as a basketball player for Community High School. Garcia didn't play basketball his sophomore or junior year. He missed it so much, did not want to waste a single opportunity here this season, and helped push Community into the playoffs and to 20 wins. Tremendous job by Jackson. Great to see him celebrated on senior night at CHS. The rest of the players on the floor will all be back next season. Terrius Wilson, no good. 10-point deficit for Community. Isaac Foy trying to commit a foul, couldn't do it there. Chapman not wanting this game to end, reaching in for the foul, pleading for the striped shirts to call it, finally gets the call. Again, this Community team in the TABC preseason poll was picked last in district. They go on to finish runner-up in district play, win 20 games in the regular season. While it's heartbreak today in the first round of the playoffs, you can see how bright the future is for the Braves. Drake Chapman, a big part of that. Just a 9th grader. Isaac Foy, the junior, one more year in Brave Nation for him. Terrius Wilson, top of the key, the leading scorer for Community this season. DeCameron Bland on the floor right now. What a menace he is on defense. A lot of disappointed faces on the Community side as their season comes to a close. For Sulphur, glee as the Wildcats advance to the area round. Congratulations to Sulphur Springs High School on a 53-41 win tonight, and on advancing into the round of 32 in the UIL 4A Division I playoffs. It'll be Athens or Pine Tree waiting later this week with the chance to move into the Sweet 16. Braves will head back to the locker room, then back to Nevada. We'll watch them clear the floor here this evening. Again, congratulations to these young men on what they accomplished this year. I've listed off the accolades, but from my position at Community ISD, young men, we are proud of what you did this year. I think I speak for all of Brave Nation saying congratulations on a tremendous season. 20 wins, district runner-up, back into the playoffs, and the upward trajectory for Community High School basketball is tremendous. Nathan Kirby looking to do even more big things next year with a stacked roster. I want to thank Cooper Welch on camera tonight. Garrett Dorman stepping in last minute to run the graphics this evening. My name's Chris Mycoskie. Again, congratulations to the Community High School student athletes on a tremendous season, and to those Sulphur Springs Wildcats that you see on your screen now. Wildcats earn a 53-41 win and advance to the area round. You can catch this entire broadcast on demand on the Community Braves Network. For now, good night from Greenville. Stay tuned to our social media for decisions on school tomorrow. Of course, stay safe out there on the roads. some potentially hazardous conditions coming. We will update you on the website, on social media, through every avenue we have available to us to let you know the status of school if it is in fact delayed or canceled on Wednesday. Good night from the Lions Den.